The moment you detach from someone, that's the time when the reality and the clarity accelerates. Attachment only lets you see what you really want to see, and attachment only lets you see what you have made an assumption about that person in your head. Whereas the opposite of attachment, that is freedom, will only let you see the clarity, will only let you see the reality, what is really going on in front of you. It will only let you see how that person is in reality, what they are doing in reality, not what you have made in your head that okay, this person might do this, they might be trying to do this. No, look at what they are actually doing. You know what the problem is? When you are very much attached to someone, that's the time when you don't want to see how they really are. You just want to see the way you want them to become for you. For example, even if that person is not treating you nicely, you will still try to find some this little things also to prove that person is treating you nicely, because you are just so much attached to that person, you are just so much into that person that you don't want to accept this thing that this person is not the way you are pursuing this person. That is your attachment for that person. Attachment lets you make assumption about someone which is not correct. Making assumption about anyone and then thinking, pursuing and making a judgment about them, making opinions about them is the worst thing that you can do, because you are literally keeping yourself in an illusion. You are not accepting the reality, you are not accepting the clarity. Clarity costs losing illusions that you are emotionally attached to. When you are attached to someone, that's the time when you just think that you just don't want to leave that person only. Doesn't matter what happens. Even if that person will try to give you poison, you will think that okay, it's by mistake, or maybe they don't know and all that stuff. That is making an illusion about someone, which literally makes you feel like you are in a prison. Like literally, you only think that you are not taking the person the way they are. You are taking them the way you have made them in your head. Does that make any sense? And the quote which I said, that the moment you detach yourself with someone, that's the time when the reality and the clarity accelerates. The moment you get detached with that person, that's the time when you actually realize that okay, this person was not the diamond which I was thinking this person is. Attachment is such a bad thing. That's why people say that attachment is not a good thing. Attachment is such a bad thing that it will it will teach you how to make assumptions about anyone, and it will just teach you to be in a prison. It will just teach you to make an illusion about someone. Whereas the moment you detach yourself with someone, that's the time when the clarity and the reality accelerates. That means anyhow finally you detach yourself with someone, at that time you actually realize this thing that okay, this person was not the way I thought this person is. And then you actually start noticing their actions. See, first of all, never judge anyone on the basis of their words. I'm not going to talk anything about words. I'll just talk about actions and assumptions. So yeah, then you will start seeing their actions. What they are actually doing in front of you, how they are actually talking to you, what are they speaking to you, and are they really doing what they are saying? You will start noticing all these things, and these are the criteria to understand that whether the person is really real or they are faking their personality. That's the way you recognize a person. That's the way you have to make judgments about anyone, that too in your head. Okay, no passing comments and all. So yeah, I just want to say that when you detach yourself, that's the time when you meet with the reality. That's the time when you understand. That's the time when you start noticing reality. You'll start noticing the reality. Okay, reality is about what you see in front of you. So then you will start making judgments on the basis of what you are actually seeing, which is 110% correct. Whereas when you are attached to someone, you will be like, okay, this person might be like this person might become like this person did this, but maybe they wanted to do that, maybe that person wanted to do that, but this happened ultimately. That's called making assumptions. And even if you can see that no, that person is not interested, not treating you nicely, that then too that you will be like, maybe now they are not interested, in future they will be, maybe their personality is only like this, maybe they don't know how to treat you, maybe this, maybe that. It will just go on increasing, and you will receive nothing, and you will just end up making assumptions about that person. Illusions, you will be in an illusion. Clarity costs losing illusions that you are emotionally attached to. Remember this thing. Attachment only lets you see what you really want to see. Attachment only lets you see what you have made an assumption about that person. Attachment only lets you see what you want to see. Attachment only lets you see what you want in that person. Reality let you see what is really there in front of you. Now you tell me what is better. Accepting what is not real, or accepting something that is real. Of course, accepting something that is real. That is why remember this thing, that don't get easily attached with someone. Being connected to people is another thing, and being attached with someone is another thing. Be connected with people, be connected with many people, but don't get attached with them. There's a huge difference between both of these things. So yeah, remember, attachment only lets you see what you have made an assumption about that person. Attachment only lets you see what you really want to see. Attachment only lets you see which is not real but you want to make real, which is not possible. Whereas freedom, reality, and clarity lets you see what is really there in front of you. So now tell me, what is better, seeing something which is actually real and accepting something which is actually real, or seeing and accepting something that is not at all real? Of course, seeing and accepting something that is actually there in front of you, that is actually real, is the correct thing. So yeah, at last remember this thing, that the moment you get detached with someone, that's the time the reality and the clarity accelerates. Attachment only lets you see what you have made an assumption about that person, whereas opposite of attachment, that is freedom, will only let you see what is there in reality with lot of clarity. That's it.